Okay guys, I am at the GoodLife Super Thrift. There is a sale today. There's a couple of really interesting things that I've come across here, and one of them has me pretty flabbergasted. This mid-century desk is still here, which I have a liking to. Unfortunately, the drawer has a chip out of it, and it's pretty deep. It's possible to be able to patch it, but it has its brass pulls and some dividers, movable dividers, which are kind of cool. And what's interesting is that somebody attached this secondary piece in the back, which doesn't belong, and it was attached by some supports which would come off of the back. So I do like this desk. It is 30% off today. I'm still trying to figure out who this desk is by, because it is quite interesting. It's a 50s piece, and it's marked down now, so it's $24.99 and 30% off. So I'm feeling this desk. If I can patch that door, and this is where your chair would go here. So this is a very cool piece. The next piece I want to call your attention to is this piece, and I immediately saw it because it says made in Sweden, factory number 24, and interestingly enough, it's a Danish modern piece, but it was manufactured in the United States or Mexico for sure. And after sourcing it, I immediately knew from the lines that it was mid-century, and this is like a cabinet of some kind, and it's made of maple. This is maple wood. It's very heavy. Maple is heavy, and it's got a lot of firmness to it. Pine is soft. This is a hardwood. Old connectors and old hardware pieces. And after sourcing it, it is in a bit of a rough condition. And after sourcing it, it turns out to be a very expensive piece that belongs on the top of another dresser. And this is an Edmund Spence piece. Edmund Spence was a mid-century Danish modernism designer, and he had his heyday in the 50s, and basically had some very, very cool mid-century modern pieces that kind of were, they say his work is tiki style, deco style, and atomic style. Atomic meaning flared legs, flared pieces, modern looking, kind of Jetson style stuff. And tiki meaning the wood and the coloring. It also had an island flavor. And then of course Art Deco with its lines and industrial curves and angles. This is the credenza that belongs on the top of a dresser. I'm devastated that the dresser is not here. I checked in back. Basically, he had his. He was not a Danish modern designer. He was an American designer, industrialist who is kind of in the family of Hans Wegner and probably somebody like Hans Wegner for sure, or Finn Jewell maybe, like a Finn Jewell or Hans Wegner. Kind of interesting stuff. Finn Jewell had a lot of the Asian style stuff and did a lot of pottery as well. Finn Jewell chairs are very cool. This piece is in pretty good condition. It needs to be refinished. It's only the top though. It's the top of the dresser. This sat on the top of the dresser. I'm devastated. The other piece is in here. It's only $19. It's not worth getting because it doesn't go with the other piece, but it would need to be refinished. It's something that I'm going to think about. It's still a standalone, kind of interesting low credenza, but again, it belongs on the top of the dresser that goes with it. It's not here. This is a very, very interesting find. It's a very, hard to come by. And it was not Edward, it was Edmund Spence. This is an Edmund Spence modernist piece. And we are at the GoodLife Thrift. Really too bad. Still possible that I'll purchase it, but an amazing find here.